Okay, so gaming started for me a long time ago. My brother gave me an original Game Boy with Super Mario Land, and that was my first sort of insight into gaming. That was like a major thing for me when I was younger. I used to love playing it. I had that, Super Mario Land, and Tetris, and that was like what started me off on gaming. That tied me over for a couple of years until the sort of next gen sort of stuff started coming in. And my grandparents said that they were going to take me to Curry's and PC World, I think it is now, take me there to sort of pick up my first proper console. Yeah, so I kind of went with them, and I had the choice between Nintendo and Sony. Started off with Sony basically. At the time I was impressed by the N64, but the sort of PlayStation had been pretty big around my circle of friends, and that was what everyone was sort of into and playing at the time. So I went with that console, and it just kind of spiraled from there. I was always majorly a Sony sort of guy until sort of later on. But when I was younger, it was the sort of PS1, the PS2. Those were the major things that really got me into gaming. The collecting of gaming only recently started. I still kept my consoles, and I upgraded from the PS1 to the PS2. I wasn't really too interested in Nintendo at an early age. I mean, I enjoyed playing the games. Also, Sega was still quite a big part of my youth at that time. Although it was an older system by the point that I was getting into it, I still loved playing things. I mean, I used to go over to my friend's house quite a lot when I was a kid. I used to enjoy playing games like Mortal Kombat and Sonic the Hedgehog. That was always a big thing, but Sony was always bigger. So anyway, a couple of years back, a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, started collecting gaming, and just started off just talking about it. He was the collector at the time, and I don't know, I just kind of looked at it and thought, you know, I used to have some of these consoles as a kid. I really enjoyed playing it, and yeah, that kind of set me off as to where I wanted to be and what I wanted to get into with gaming. So I started off, you know, just regularly going to boot sales, asking people, you know, if they got any old consoles they want to sell, and so on and so forth, and that really kind of got me into loads of different systems and playing a lot of games that I'd never actually played before. Although they were old, they were still amazing, and you know, still enjoy playing them today. So yeah.
My first console was probably the Game Boy SP. What really kicked it off for me was Pokemon. I think I had Leaf Green first. Yeah, really good game. I enjoyed it. I think it was like 800 hours trying to play it. Really confusing for like a tiny kid. I think I was like 8 or something, and really confusing to play. But I did it, and then I sort of moved on to, I think I got a PSP for Christmas once, and I moved on to like Grand Theft Auto Liberty Stories, and I sort of found more sort of RPG games, and then I sort of got into more PC gaming because I saw my cousin had one, and I was like, oh awesome, I could play that. So I started PC gaming, started playing Skyrim on PC, using all the mods and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then I just got an Xbox 360 and started playing just random games, just trying to complete as many as possible. Mirror's Edge, Skyrim obviously, Fallout, loads of stuff. I tend to collect more sort of Nintendo stuff like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo's like Nintendo DS, 3DS, DSi. I got the special edition NES, which is really awesome because it looks like a NES controller, and it's got like all the designs and all that type of stuff on it. I got the white Game Boy Advance, which is it looks like one of the white PSPs, which is really good. It's really comfortable to hold. And I got the yellow Game Boy Color, which is a nice console. I've got Star Wars for it, which I'm trying to complete at the moment.
Right. Okay. So we get up stupid o'clock in the morning, so early, just to try and get to the boot sale as early as we can. This place is only about 30 minutes away down the road. It's not too far away at all. It's a place I go quite regular. We sometimes find good stuff there, sometimes not so good stuff. So we leave the house in the morning and it is like, it has been hammering it down with rain.
Yeah.
Bear in mind this is Wales,
Yeah.
you know, in the summer, and it is just horrendous. The weather's been horrendous, and I was thinking to myself, man, I'm not too sure if it's even going to be going on today.
It was still like misty, wasn't it? It was still like...
Yeah, it was that sort of morning mist,
Wanting
water
to rain.
everywhere, loads of puddles. I mean, it's August, it's supposed to be like hot and sunny, and it has been pretty decent weather, but no, not today. The day we decide to go out. So anyway, so we get up, we chance it. So we, like I said, we drove about half an hour down the road. We get there, and to our surprise, there actually was quite a few people there. So anyway, we started going on the hunt, and we had a little walk around, and yeah, we came across a couple of PS2 games, started flicking through, and there was Destroy All Humans 2. Destroy All Humans is a game based in the 60s where you go around as a UFO and you attack people. Asked the woman how much it was. She wanted a decent price for it, so we bought it. And yeah, I was quite happy with that.
50p, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like really good price for it. So I was happy with that. Good find. Okay, so we're walking around and it just seems like there's nothing about, and then all of a sudden we come to this table, and on the table is Mario for the Nintendo DS. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
It's a 3DS one, wasn't it?
It was a 3DS
Yeah.
one, was it? Okay. So anyway, I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I won that game, I actually haven't got it. So anyway, I asked the guy, I was like, oh, you know, how much is it? Opens the box, nothing there.
Yeah.
It was just
Dust.
it's just such a disappointment. It was a shame, but
You run the risk with that with car boot sales, because people just put it in their car and hope for the best sort of thing.
yeah. But to be honest with you, I've been stung before.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time, it was with Resident Evil Outbreak.
Oh no.
Yeah, bought the game, went home, thought, yeah, I'm gonna play that. Put it in the disk, went put it in the disk drive, opened up the box, nothing in there. It was yeah, very sad time.
It's the dark days in your life.
Yeah, so but never mind. So yeah, lesson.
Always check the cases at boot sales.
Right, okay, so anyway, we come across this Sega Master System game. It's a very rubbish title. A game called
Horrendous.
Putt and Putter. It's a sports golf game. To be honest with you, I only picked it up because I actually have recently picked up a Master System 2. I actually only have 2 games for it, so it was kind of just to bulk out my collection. He wanted a quid for it. To be honest, it probably wasn't even really worth that. But I thought, well, you know, it's,
Why not?
yeah, why not? I mean, it's a title I didn't have. It's just like, yeah, I'm not going to quibble over that. So yeah, we well, I went for it, and I was quite happy for that. Following that, we walked around for a bit. We'd spoken to a guy earlier on in the day, and he had a couple of games still in his car. He hadn't got them out yet, so he told us to come back. So we did just that. We went and seen him, checked it out. I mean, most of the titles there were really common.
It's bog standard what you normally find in like a car boot sort of sale, like FIFA and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of sports titles. So, but anyway, he had this Alien game for the PlayStation. I actually have been looking to pick this game up for a little while. So he wanted £5? Was it £5?
I think it was 6.
£6 for this Alien Isolation game. I was quite happy to pay that,
like
to
a
be honest with
£50
you.
game,
It is.
so-
Even now, you can't pick it up second hand for cheaper than that. So I thought, well, why not? You know. So I picked that up as well. I mean, it's a very good game by all accounts, from what I've seen on reviews and things like that. You play as Ripley, and there is no real way to end it. There is no real way to end it. You just basically running away from Xenomorph. It's supposed to be a really cool game, very sought after. So yeah, I'm quite happy to pick that up.
We went into that one, it was sort of off the market. It was more like a kind of shop, it's like a house clearance place, and we asked him if he had any games consoles or any games, and he pointed to one of them, and he just said there's something in there, not telling us what it was, and we opened it up, and it was a Mega Drive in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was Mega Drive 2
Yeah.
with Sonic 2, Sonic 3, 2 controllers. It was in pretty good nick, boxed as well with all the original instructions and stuff. But yeah, he kind of wanted a crazy price for it.
Yeah.
35 quid he wanted for it. The titles were good with it, but it wasn't really something I was interested in. I've already got a Master System, a Mega Drive, sorry. I've got those games, so I was happy to leave it. You were looking for one, but
Yeah, I want one, but not for that price.
no. So we kind of left that there.
It was a really small store with about, I don't know, 9 or 10 things on it, just behind like a blue van. And I looked in the corner and I saw one of the old PS3s and I was hoping it would be backwards compatible. So I asked him, I was like, right, how much do you want for it? And he was like, £10. So I picked it up and it was a bit scratched, wasn't it? And a little bit grubby.
It had seen better days.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fine then. Would you do it for £5? And he was like, yeah, go on then. And I picked up a PS3, which ended up not making it. So
it was completely destroyed. I mean, we took it home, we tried it out and it worked initially, but the fan was whirring. I mean, I've heard about it, I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of the equivalent to the Xbox Red Ring of Death.
Yeah.
The little lights flash red, it just shuts out. It just won't have any
I
of
even
it.
took it apart, like I was ripping wires off, plugging them back in, nah, nothing worked.
Nothing worked. So okay, so we spent £5 on that, but you know we'll look again. It's you know, it was still a PS3 for £5. I don't know what we were expecting. It was obviously not going to work. But we went and checked out this one guy. I mean, he's actually located in the market. He's got one of the stalls there. He's like a bit of everything, really. He's got his PCs, his consoles, he's got wires. Really, really nice little tight shop there. Anyway, looked in there, and there on the side there were 3 PS1s. Now, I have when I was a kid, that's what started me off. So that was why I wanted this console. I actually have a PS1, but not the original PS1. The difference is the original one is a bit more clunky. It's got a box sort of shape. It's a very good console, but it was sort of revolutionary for the time. It kind of like could play CDs. It's kind of the equivalent to your sort of consoles playing DVDs now. It was a very cool thing to have. So I kind of wanted this original PlayStation, but you know, I thought I'd ask the guy the price. He turned around and initially said it was £3 for the actual console, and I thought, okay, that's worth a risk. Asked him if it worked, and he said, yeah, he tested them all out. So I just thought, okay, fair enough. And he said, I'll do it for £6 with all the cables and things like that. So I went for it. And I actually took it home and it worked just fine. So stood the test of time. So yeah, that was a really good find, actually. Really happy with that find as well. Then we went over to another table, and there was obviously some sort of teenage girl had these DSs, because there were love heart stickers all over them. They just looked terrible. But anyway, I thought, well, you know, I'll take a gamble on them if they're for the right price. So he was sort of umming and ahhing about a price for it. So I just sort of threw down the offer of £5. He accepted it, and I was a bit dubious about whether they would work, but to be fair, they both did. The one had charge, and I switched it on, worked completely fine. You know, a couple of the usual wear and tear scratches, things like that, but it worked absolutely fine. And I thought even if the other one didn't work, it's still a good price. So anyway, but I took it home, I charged it up, and it worked just fine. So I was quite happy with that. That was overall quite a good find. So I was very, very happy, to be honest with you. It was good. So yeah.
Okay guys, that was the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please like, comment and subscribe. There will be more on the way. Thanks.